Oh boy, here we go. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Dugai, coming at y'all with another episode of Dropping Dimes with Mr. Dugai. And today I'm going to talk about the big news of the day. It's been reported that the LSU Tigers and head coach Ed Orgeron will go separate ways once the season is over. I'm gonna just give my thoughts on that and what I think LSU may do as far as a new head coach for next season. Before I get into this video, for everyone, if you want to give me a follow on my social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, I'm going to have all that information down in the description box. May not always get a chance to respond to questions and comments on these videos, so feel free to DM me. And whenever I get a chance to, I'll get back at you. Come holler at your boy. Also, if you're a Madden 22 player on Xbox One, I'm going to have my Xbox One gamer tag down in the description box also. Y'all gonna hear a beeping noise throughout the video. Please disregard it. And I do apologize for the inconvenience. Well, it's official, man. It's official that once the season is over, Coach O will be gone. The two have mutually decided to part ways once the season over. But the thing is, he will finish out the season. You know, people we know you was wondering if he get fired if he lose this game or lose that game. He gonna finish out the season, so that it is what it is. Um, Honestly, look, I'm gonna say this before I get into the future and all that. I want to give a round of applause and thank Coach O for, for look a good run after the Les Miles fiasco. He came in. We was a solid team under him. You know, we did have the bad loss to Troy in his first full year, but Shook Bag had a decent year. Then the following year, we was pretty solid, man. Then we get Jambalaya Joe Burrow to come in. We make it to a New Year's Six Bowl, beat UCF in the Fiesta Bowl, and then obviously everybody, remembers 2019 winning the national championship, undefeated, one of the greatest teams of all time. Look, I know a lot of people gonna discredit him for that, but hey, he the one. He got Joe Burrow to come to LSU. He basically recruited him. He brought Joe. He basically discovered Joe Brady as a young, bright offensive mind, in football, and brought him into LSU, who's now offensive coordinator in the Carolina Panthers. So, he kept that team together. He, was a strong lead on that sideline. He had a lot to do with that. I know he didn't have a lot to do with it as far as X's and O's and stuff like that, but that was his team. Putting that team together, recruiting all those players, you got to give him all the credit for that. Can't take that away from him. But as I've said after the Kentucky game, it became obvious that he's no longer. That eventually, they're gonna part ways. I felt like the ugly loss to UCLA, and it's not just that. It's some off the field stuff popping up. It's a lot of things which I ain't even gonna get into. It's a lot of things popping up today about how he was as far as practice and his personal life and all that. That won't be fair for me to bring that up. But when you just look at the results on the field, it just ain't been the same. Like it just last year was terrible. A lot of LSU fans we blamed it on the coordinators, but things were not as good this year also, despite having a nice win yesterday. So I felt like it's time. I felt like it's time. I absolutely understand the decision. I do indeed like the fact that he gets to finish out the year and that we know what's coming up because now we get to basically throw out bouquets at him. We get to celebrate him, for these last 5 games or so. When we play A&M like we did with Les Miles, didn't know we was bringing him back, but like we did with Les Miles on the last game with Texas A&M, we get to celebrate him. We get to celebrate him, show him a whole lot of support. He deserves that. So I'm looking forward to us doing that and showing our just showing that we're appreciative of the things that he did accomplish as the head football coach at LSU. But now as far as, going forward, it's an interesting coaching search. There's a job over there on the West Coast that's gonna have a lot to do with what we do. USC, they have a coaching vacancy also, and a lot of guys that we looking at, I'm sure USC gonna have on their short list also. Obviously, we'll get more and more into that as the year goes on, but you're hearing names like a Lane Kiffin, you're hearing a Bill O'Brien, you're hearing Luke Fickle, James Franklin, you're hearing Billy Napier. Even today, I started hearing Mel Tucker. Matt Campbell. You're hearing all of these names. You're starting to hear as far as being linked to the LSU job. I'm gonna just say this. I trust Scott Woodward. I think that he's done a great job since taking over as athletic director of this program. And honestly, I feel like whatever he decides to do, I feel like we're going to be okay. LSU is going to be okay going forward. It's going to be pretty, you never know what happens, but it's going to be kind of hard to screw this coaching hire search up. This is one of the top programs in the nation. It's a national brand. There's coaches that going to want to come here. Me personally, like people that know me know, my dream scenario, I don't think it's going to happen, is I want Urban Meyer, honestly. But I also know that I think it's a stronger possibility that he would take the USC job before the LSU job, just, West Coast, California. It's easier to win there than it is at LSU because you got that guy over there in Tuscaloosa that's gonna scare some candidates away. Let's just be honest. Whereas USC, they just waiting on a good coach to come in and get them in the playoff every single year. That's all they waiting on. So you got to deal with that factor as well. But there's got that's my dream scenario. But also you got a guy like Billy Napier who has done a great job with the Raising Cajuns. Now I'm not sure how he'll quite handle a bigger job like LSU, but I think he's done amazing things over there at UL. Lane Kiffin, I'm not quite sure about him. I know I like his offensive style and system and all that. I just don't know if I really want him, to be honest with you. Bill O'Brien, not on top of my list, but I don't hate it because he's done a good job at Penn State. He actually was a good NFL X's and O's coach. He just was an awful general manager. He come in with an offensive system and putting down his everything he need to put down for as far as this franchise goes. I think he would be solid, but we'll see, man. As time goes on, obviously I have more and more names for everybody, but that's the main ones that I'm looking at right now. James Franklin is another really good coach. Mel Tucker is not high on my list, but hey, if we end up with him, I'm okay with him. Defensive minded, strong minded head coach. That's all. That's all cool, man. LSU got options, and I know Scott Woodward gonna do whatever it takes to make sure that LSU has the best coach going forward that he could get for this program, yo. Like I mentioned, this is a really good job, and I feel like there's even gonna be a coach or two out there that we don't know is even willing to leave where he's at for LSU that may come up and pop up in the next few days or whatnot. So we're gonna see with that, man. We're gonna see with that. Like I said, I want to clap my hands, and tip my hat to Coach O because hey, when we hired him, when you hire a coach, you want to at least get a national championship out of him. And one thing I can say about LSU in the last three head coaching hires, they got three national championships: Nick Saban, Les Miles, Ed Orgeron. But I do believe that it is time for us to look in a different direction, go a different, more modern day coach, somebody who has a lot of experience of running a program and go come in and kind of have his own imprint. We don't, with all due respect to Coach O and Les Miles, let's get a guy who was a coordinator before, like a guy that's been an offensive or a defensive coordinator as opposed to just being a position coach and asking them to, lead and see the whole team. But hey, looking forward to it. LSU gonna be all right. Now we could enjoy these last few games with Coach O. Root the Tigers on. I know there's some people who kind of like, I don't want him to win, which it sounds crazy, but there are people like that. I don't want him to win enough games to keep his job. There's some people like that, trust me. So now that we know what the deal is, let's all root for the Tigers to finish off strong and these young players to get better and look forward to next season. But with that being said, that's all I got for y'all today. Appreciate y'all checking out the video. Hit the like button for your boy. Give me a subscribe. I'm going to have LSU, NCAA, and content on my other 3 teams throughout the year. Also, every Sunday from 10 a.m. Central to 12 p.m. Central, I co-host Big Time Sports Talk. Y'all download the ESPN 1420 app. And come give us a listen every week, man. Some good stuff. Have a lot of discussion about this LSU coaching search on that. Also on Mondays from 6:30 p.m. Central to 7:30 p.m. Central, I'm gonna do a live Q&A. Y'all come on there, ask me anything, tell me anything. I answer your questions, respond to your comments, and give you a shout out on the live. Y'all should join me. It'll be some good stuff. Until then, y'all have a blessed one. Go Tigers.